kick out of bounds on the full. And generally it's the way when he's down for 3 quarters, Chris Judd, he produces a last quarter like this one.
No, just one, just to get back at you a little bit, Bruce. He hasn't taken a mark. The only player not to. Carlton player. Today.
Oh, we haven't seen him at his absolute best, but he's quickened up in the last.
Well, he's a fighter, isn't he? And great players you can't keep down for the 4 quarters.
There's Russell in the back pocket. Carlton have met every challenge this afternoon. Marvellous performance. Kicks towards the wing. That was a clever mark by Murphy.
Well, I heard on radio this morning, Dennis, that most Collingwood supporters it's been one of their worst weekends.
Why's that?
Well, they got beaten in the last kick, and they said it can only get worse if Carlton win here this afternoon.
Well, they're well on the way. Judd again storming through midfield. The bowler. Cruiser going back. He's got a mismatch. Good luck. He ran as quickly as Higgins. Higgins couldn't get defensive side of him, even if he wanted to.
Well, don't underestimate the kick by Brendan Favola. Centimetre perfect, Dennis, in your words. Sorry to steal your lines, but it was just a beautiful kick. He got back, and this is the trait of a good forward who gets back off his mark. Instead of soaking up the plaudits of the crowd, he gets back and gets the ball moving.
Matthew Cruiser, fantastic outing this afternoon. Comes in from 20, puts it through. It's all over. Carlton have won a terrific game of footy.
Well, it's how the Doggies respond now in the last 15 minutes. They can either turn it up or they can fight it out. And Rocket will be judging a lot of players in this last 15 minutes. And some players, they won't be playing next week. They've got 15 minutes to prove to Rocket that they were beaten by a better side on the day, and they fought it out. Higgins has tried. He hasn't had enough help.
Terrific crowd here today, and if you're a Blues supporter, it doesn't get much better than this. But if you're the Bulldogs coach, it's a long afternoon now.
Play on.
It would seem that all is lost. And as Ox said, let's see what happens in the last 15. From both teams' point of view now, Addison, that was okay, to Hudson. Higgins probably with Hill the best for the Dogs. Good tackle by Waite to Bauer. They've got a taste now. They're going in for the kill. Cloak, Hurlahan. Clever kick, actually. I know Murphy didn't quite get to. Well done, Picken. Murphy's tackle. Ward's pick up was good, but the tackle by Favola was brilliant. They'll like that. Judd again, as Dennis said, he just stands up. Was able to get it forward, didn't fall over at the time, and now it's a ball up.
He's got to come off, Juddy. He's got no air in the lungs.
Thanks, Mark. Behind you, mate.
7 possessions in the term so far.
Gee, Murphy's tackle then was good. Picken was away, and he was able to restrict him.
Cruiser goes after it, knocks it forward, buttering up Houlihan, stolen away by Hill. Well, that's a terrific kick as it turned out, just inside the boundary line, bounced out of bounds. There's Chris Judd, 16 possessions to 3/4 time, off the ground with 23 now.
He knows how to step it up.
Yep. No one
serious
better.
gears.
Gibbs, Murphy. The future of the football club. Gibbs still going, looks towards the middle, bets, but too high for him. Harbrow punched away, cross on a collision course, taken high. That one hurt. Advantages paid. Hudson too slick for Higgins. Cloak, Gibbs, Houlihan. You'd like him from here. Well, he doesn't take a shot at goal. He spears it into Wiggins.
I think Houlihan would have probably been a better option.
Thinking the same thing. In fact, Wiggins does too, probably. He looked at
there it
passing
is.
it back. Your voice carries. It's a goal.
Well, the Chief knew. Oh, they've really punished the Bulldogs. When they've made an error, they have been carved up. I can't remember Carlton actually missing a target in the last half of football. They haven't missed a target. They've been so dead-eye with their kicks. Yeah,
They played smart too, haven't they? I mean, just that was smart. So suddenly we're out to 50 points
It's
here.
embarrassing now. It's starting to really become embarrassing for the Doggies.
It's actually a scoreline very similar to the qualifying final last year. Hawthorn were 127-76 against the Dogs. And that was a platform for them going on a month later to doing something very big.
Have it now. 3-4 sets of hands on that. Guys, get out. Ben, let him up, Ben.
I think Carlton is going to be one of the big stories of the year. One way or the other. They've got a real chance here to get into the top 4, you'd think.
My ball, no chance held in. Ben, settle down.
Long time
Ben,
since they've been 3-2, Carlton. Got to go back to 2001.
Yeah.
A bit like Collingwood, though. They've lost some games that they thought that they would have won at the start of the year. The Essendon game in particular.
Well, this is their first big scalp, isn't it?
Yeah.
Richmond and Brisbane, their other wins.
My ball.
What do you reckon, Dennis? Have they got enough there to challenge into the upper echelons?
If they get the right opponent, I think, in the finals, like they're a side that can play well if they play it on their terms.
Just feel that their young ones are going to get better as the year goes
absolutely. This is reminiscent of round 1. I mean, they were so clean and so precise. Here they go again. Simpson involved early. Bauer, then Stevens on the angle. Gibbs, open goal. They're putting on a clinic now.
You only have to look down the team sheet for Carlton. There's not many players that haven't kicked a goal. They've shared the load.
Just keep thinking, Gibbs and Murphy and Cruz are probably going to be better players in 20 matches' time, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to end up being the better of them? I know it's a tough question.
They're all good number ones, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're all good number ones. Well, terrific crowd, over 44,000 here. And those that are barrack for Carlton are going to go away feeling really good about themselves. And there's some question marks about the Dogs. They've had a tough draw in terms of the travel, not in terms of who they've played against so far.
No prior opportunity, guys.
No, they've still got some big sides.
Straight back here.
Carlton have got Hawthorn, Fremantle, Collingwood and Adelaide, and 3 of those are away. Only 1 interstate. So it's not a bad. I don't think that's a bad run for the Blues.
Well, they'll probably start favourite against Hawthorn.
Yeah, good time to play them.
If you want to play Hawthorn, you want to play them in the next couple of weeks because they've won on the weekend, but gee, they were limping.
Gee, and Carlton stitched up Collingwood a couple of times last year. How big will that be on a Sunday in about 3 weeks' time?
There's Cloak, got it from Scotland. Just wonder how Heath Scotland could ever be out of this team. Downwards, full forward, some pushing down there. O'Halpin hooks it to the pocket. Hill, pretty tired, tracks it towards the boundary attack.
Dennis, until he got dropped, he played 108 games out of 112 possible for Carlton, and they dropped him for the 2 weeks. He hasn't played in a losing team this year.
Just to shake him up, I guess. They've done that. He's well shaken this afternoon. Boundary throw in. Lobs behind. O'Halpin, well, that was clean possession. In a roundabout sort of a way.
Here's the Doggies. They've got St Kilda, Adelaide, Melbourne, Geelong. They've got a couple of tough ones in there. In fact, they're all tough now.
Heard the explanation. Satanta wasn't contesting the run. Well, he chose not to leap. But let's not get into the technicalities. It's marked on the outer side by Murphy. He's at left half back. 133-77. Harbrow. And the Dogs now just going through the motions. As Bruce said, this is a game certainly for the first 3 quarters that deserved a big finish. It's not going to get that simply because Carlton are too good. Down goes Cross. Met pretty solidly. This afternoon just 19 possessions. But make no mistake, Cross is a star. And again, he's on a star-crossed team. Interesting stat. They've won a premiership every year Adam Ant was born. Inside the forward 50. Carlton will bring it away. Chain of hand passes once more. Finishes with Murphy, and he'll run it through the midfield.
Backtracks for a moment. Didn't like what he saw up front. They're playing with so much confidence. Geez, a lovely kick by Scotland.
Murphy's got the best breaks in the business. He can pull up quicker than any other player.
Ratton's going to be happy.
You didn't see mine.